Big story is Idalia, a Category 2 hurricane as of the 7 p.m. Tuesday evening advisory. Maximum winds up to 105 miles per hour. And then by 4 p.m. we'll get you back into the lower 70s. Again, a cooler day, but that rain chance does come up a bit to around 50 to 60%. And that is good news because of this. The updated drought monitor, no big changes. Everyone now under either a severe drought in the orange or that extreme drought in the red. So this is a massive area of heat. A heat dome is what we're calling it. Extends from the southern northern plains all the way down to the Gulf Coast, and this is what's contributing to the intense numbers that we're seeing here. So guys, gates open up at 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, and it's looking a little iffy weather-wise. Got some showers and thunderstorms moving in, but things are looking good for the second half of the day. Oh my goodness, it's difficult to give a forecast when your stomach is going up and down. Yeah, guys, obviously we want everyone to enjoy their time on the beaches, but you look at the numbers here. Rip currents account for more fatalities than hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes, and lightning strikes combined. Just enhanced satellite, we're seeing new thunderstorms kind of blowing up there near the center, as this is just on the western tip of Cuba, and the environment ahead of this thing is excellent for rapid development. We could see a rapid intensification of this as this moves up the west coast of Florida. We have strong winds blowing away from the radar, which is in that general direction, and then winds blowing back towards the radar in this general direction. So there is a broad area of spin here south of Irvington, south of Highway 90, and north of Coden that we will continue to watch as well. The highest surge will occur to the right of the landfall point, and look at this. Some of the modeling now suggesting perhaps actual individual storm surge amounts could exceed 12 feet.
Chief Meteorologist Ed Bloodsworth with your First Alert Storm Team forecast.
All right, here's a look outside. Cloudy skies down at the coast. We'll begin with our Dauphin Island Sea Lab Eastern Shore Toyota camera. Right now, we are seeing, again, overcast skies. A lot of the leftover cloudiness from that first batch of showers and thunderstorms that moved through this morning. There's a look at, again, a lot of cloudiness from Atmore and the Wind Creek. Kind of looks like that everywhere at this point. Fort Walton Beach, mostly cloudy, but boy, we were tracking some very heavy rain this afternoon, actually picking up around an inch and a half of rain there in very short order. So Highway 98 still running pretty damp at this hour, but more rain is on the way. You look at the rainfall totals, these are approximates, or estimates, I should say, from that first batch of rain. Most areas are less than an inch of rain, but you can see those little strips of green, half an inch to an inch and a half of rain, a little bit more in Greene County from this morning. And we're approximating about an inch and a half of rain there in Santa Rosa County. Right now, radar picture is quiet over our neck of the woods. It took a while for this lingering rain to get on out of here. Showers and storms continuing to roll through Panama City. Big batch of rain offshore. I think this batch of rain actually misses us tonight. The next batch of storms is starting to take shape. You can see this next cluster developing near Houston. There's actually a little boundary sitting just off the Louisiana coast. I think we'll start to see this part of the radar fill in, and that will be the next batch of rain that slides into our neck of the woods tonight and into tomorrow. So it's a solid 90% chance that your Green and Phillips umbrella will be needed. Soggy day, especially the start of the day. Isolated showers, perhaps a few rumbles of thunder there by 9 p.m. Downpours likely tonight and into tomorrow morning, 67 degrees. I think the storms become a bit more spotty in nature for the afternoon, 71 degrees. Don't expect any sun for tomorrow. Again, temps still running above average with some higher humidity. Speaking of, that's the other thing you noticed today. We did see a little bit of sun today. That really helped to kick your temperatures up. 74 right now for Mobile, 70 at Pensacola, 72 in Chatham. Many areas barely getting into the 60s yesterday. And dew points much, much higher. 60s and 70s here. That is a very humid air mass, certainly for this time of the year. So you're certainly feeling it when you step outside this evening. I'm going to show you again that high-res predictor that we showed you earlier in the broadcast. Again, this first batch of rain comes in after 7 p.m. As that moves through, some of our models suggest that we could get some gusty winds. There is, yes, a very low threat of a tornado with this, but I generally think the wind activity is going to be highest with this. That first batch of rain will move on out of here with spotty showers developing. Another view of this, there's that first batch of rain moving on out. And then spotty showers and thunderstorms that'll continue through the afternoon. May get another batch of rain that tries to develop by Saturday evening. That will push on through Saturday evening and Saturday night. But good news now, it appears that when you wake up Sunday, we will be in a clearing phase as all of these clouds slowly start to ease on out. So we'll end the day with some sunshine and much drier air moving in. But again, most areas could pick up 1.5 inches to as much as 3.5 inches of rain, maybe isolated higher amounts. We'll see a good blast of cool air coming in next week with more sunshine. Afternoon highs in the low 60s, morning lows dropping back into the 30s and 40s. Natural disasters like hurricanes are a way of life here on the Gulf Coast. Emergency operations centers like this one become a key point of contact for life-saving information. And with an influx of new residents into the region, Gulf Coast officials are finding new ways to inform and educate the public. Emergency management, a topic most often associated with disaster. It's a perception that can lead to a disconnect between emergency managers and the residents they serve.
Oftentimes, we get looked at as we're not part of the community, but we all very much are. We all live here. We are people, and the impact on our homes and in our communities are felt right here in this very room. We just have a mission to carry out. That mission to prepare Baldwin County and the Gulf Coast for disaster.
We want to reach everybody, so different ages, different parts of the county. Everyone's affected by disaster at some point or another.
Informing the public about impending tropical weather presents challenges. Now projecting, according to the Hurricane Center, a landfall right around 7 a.m. This was certainly true 3 years ago during a storm called Sally.
The public had anchored in forecast. They didn't take any protective measures over the weekend, and then all of a sudden, the common individual in our area would describe Sally as a surprise.
And that is where training comes in.
We know that the needs are there. Disasters begin and end locally. So the question is, what do you do about it? Well, there's training opportunity.
Training seminars ranging from 1 day to a full week happen year-round, and training services are about to get a big upgrade. With the help of a $44,000 Homeland Security grant, this room will be upgraded with state-of-the-art technology. Emergency management training sessions will be made available to first responders and the public at large.
It doesn't matter if you want to answer a telephone or cut a tree. There's a spot for you, and that training room will be where that training is received.
During any natural disaster, the EOC becomes the nucleus of the county. All essential county services like power, water, fire, and police all have a place here.
You have all these individuals from private organizations, government organizations, elected officials that come together within this room and decide what needs to happen now, what needs to happen in the future.
But to describe this room as chaotic would be a stretch.
Yeah, I would say busy, fluid, and very efficient.
These are things the public does not see, but they are certainly things we want them to know, because then that changes the perspective and how we need to personally prepare.
And with an influx of new residents into the region, the message is simple: prepare.
We take every opportunity we get to connect with the community, where it's an evening, a weekend, or early morning, and that's our role and purpose right now, is to get in front of as many people as we can.
Follow your local media, your local National Weather Service, your local emergency management. We're all trying to push out the same information to build a better, resilient community.
Know your evacuation zone and how to survive in 5, meaning have at least 5 days worth of essential supplies and commodities.
We like to invite people to come by our office, have a discussion. We like to have those conversations before a disaster on ways that you can get better prepared for you, your family, your business.
More information could be found at alertbaldwin.com, or you can download the Alert Baldwin app. And while you're there, download the WKRG weather app too. Daphne and Fairhope, you are under a flash flood warning. That warning is in effect until 3:30 this afternoon. The flash flood emergency is for areas south of Fairhope. It includes Weeks Bay, Foley, areas north of Gulf Shores. This does include Bon Secour as well. That flash flood emergency is in effect until 5 p.m. There's Bellingrath Road, of course, very familiar part there of South Mobile County. Putt Road, South Orchard community. This is Pioneer Road over towards the Smithport area. River Road, there's Fowl River Road. This entire area in and around the Fowl River communities could be seeing some significant water intrusion. In fact, again, it is the kind of intrusion here that could produce life-threatening situations here across southern Mobile County. So what you are from South Baldwin County, Debbie Williams is reporting there. And we can see, I can see there, Debbie. Tell us where you are and what you're seeing out there.
Yeah, so we're on County Road 13 at County Road 24. We're between Magnolia Springs and Barnwell. We're trying to stay as dry as possible, but you can see that a ton of rain has fallen in the last hour or so. The intersection at 13 and 24 completely inundated with water right now. This is the case all up and down County Road 13.
You compare this to the event that we had last week in Pensacola. We just had prolific downpours, lots of lightning, and of course we had that little brief tornado touchdown. But when all the rain fell, the one thing we did not have was all of the wind associated with it. And now we've got 60-mile-per-hour winds added into this mix, so that is just a very nasty combination. Wind shear is quite intense here. South of Dixon Corner, south of Bayou La Battery. We have some broad rotation that is being noted there as well. So, the big concern that I think I have over the next couple of minutes, in next couple of hours really, is that combination of very heavy rain and strong winds. We spoke with Beth Thomas from Alabama Power. I would venture to say our power situation here in South Mobile County could get worse before it gets better. Would you agree there, Mike?
Yeah, it will. So, again, people just need to be prepared and get out battery-operated lights. And if you happen to be outside and you see some issue with a power pole or power line, stay away from it. We've had some serious accidents in the past where people get involved with power activities when they don't need to. So
there's a live look from the Beast. We have the weather beast moving now across I-10. Traffic certainly been impacted. It is heading east, looking back towards Mobile. And what you'll notice on the left side of the screen there, that kind of just big sort of solid wall of gray, that is the area that is being inundated and that is under this flash flood emergency. Downtown Mobile officially is not under the emergency, does not have the flash flood emergency declaration at this point, but you are under a flash flood warning. And now we're starting to see some of these lighter pinks and whites pop up on here, and that is not what we want to see near the Bailey's Corner and the Fowl River area. We are now estimating, look at that. This is in the last 6 hours. 11.4 inches of rain has come down in and around Fowl River. We're seeing more reports, estimates like that around now getting 10 to 12 inches of rain over this general area, with most of this rain falling just in the last 3 to 4 hours. This is the view of the from our camera at this is a view from an Algo camera over the Bayway and the Causeway. There are, and it appears, so they are about to close down the Causeway. So we're just getting this word in. This is new. They are about to close the Causeway due to flooding. This is not going to be from your normal sea flooding. This is purely from rainfall flooding over the Causeway. So they are going to start diverting people and closing the exit. I see still some folks there coming off of the Causeway trying to get on, but they are about to start closing the Causeway here. That means more and more traffic is going to start building over on the I-10 Bayway. It's already a rough go of things just by the look of it here, but they are going to start about to start closing the Causeway here. This is South Mobile County. Our Jeremy Jones is in the Irvington community, and this area has been hit hard. This is along Half Mile Road. Jeremy Jones, thanks for navigating your way down there. I'm sure it was a bit difficult. Tell us what you saw getting down there, and how much water do you see covering roads?
Yeah, Ed, getting down to Irvington was a bit hectic as traffic on I-10 was really backed up. But if you can take a look right here, turn to the side here, you can see that there's a complete, flow of water. It looks like a lake, looks like a puddle, as there's a lot of flooding going on over here. And then on this side, as you can see on Half Mile Road, down that way, if you can zoom in a little bit, if you can see down there, there is some houses and homes over there on that side of Half Mile Road that are being affected by this flooding.
Tom Tyler from Baldwin County EMA. Tom, we thank you so much for popping on with here just a few minutes. I'll tell you what, you've had a heck of a last couple of hours down there in South Baldwin County. Had a lot of road closures. What are you hearing now, and what's the message to folks in South Baldwin County?
Well, the first message I would put out is obviously turn around, don't drown. If you don't need to be out on the roads, just stay at home. Emergency personnel and first responders have to get around, and the less traffic they have to contend with while working to save citizens and residents is better. We have not had a lot of reported road emergencies, but just as you said, we've got reports all over the southern half of the county of water being over the road, some of it being impassable. County Road 1, for instance, in the south end of the county is just about underwater for several miles.
We have a live shot. We're going to go live here to our own Debbie Williams. Debbie is now worked her way to Barnwell, and Debbie, I can just imagine getting there from where you were probably quite difficult. What are you seeing there in Barnwell?
Yeah, so let me show you. This is one of the major intersections, 98 and 98 here at Barnwell, and the water flowing over the road. They've got the signs up here, and actually in the last 30 minutes or so, it has actually receded a little bit. You see the sign that's saying water over the road. The truck is there telling people, you know, be careful, road closed, and they're still going through, and that's fine. They're doing okay with that. Further down, though, on 98, when you get to County Road 1, County Road 3, there's trees down. You've got water completely over the road, and they are shutting that down. Baldwin County